Deathbot here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Predator Hunting Grounds. I know that I have been absent for a while and haven't uploaded a video in a very long time. I will focus on that particular conversation at the end of the video. I wanted to get straight to the review of this game. I am a huge fan of the Predator, the entire Predator series. I've seen literally every single movie in the Predator series. I've even seen, Alien vs. Predator, those two movies, Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem, if I'm pronouncing that right. So I've seen all the, movies of Predator. The first one, Predator 2, where they, the Predator's in the city. I watched them all. One of my favorites was Predators because it was just kind of authentic to, how the Predators are. They hunt in groups of 3. Usually they hunt kind of like humans hunt animals for sport, in a sense. Maybe the Predator is more like a poacher, maybe, I guess. I don't know. But it is really cool. I really I love the series. I love the game. As of right now, my overall, I'm just going to go straight to my overall score of the game, for the people that are impatient, that want to actually know what I actually think, or what rating I would give the game from 0 to 10. I would give it an 8 out of 10. And the reason for that is I might have a little bit of a bias because I am a huge fan of the Predator. But I do want to, call the game out on few flaws and mistakes that it has, or things that it can improve on, or things that it can add, which I will get later into within the video. So I want to focus on, I guess visuals or the graphics, but mainly just visuals, the audio quality, the replayability, and just overall, my opinions on the game. So I'm going to start with, graphics or the visuals. The visuals are stunning. It's really actually really nice, but it's very basic. It's not like, it doesn't have those really fine combed, like little minuscule details to textures and the terrain, but it is very luscious. It is, there's a lot of jungle and there's an interesting focus on it. But when you're playing the game, you don't really pay attention to all those little minuscule details. So I'm actually happy that they made it very basic, not overwhelming and over the top detail. It's not really needed that much in this game. It would be nice to, if you're that kind of person that does enjoy graphics, then you're kind of out of luck here. But I would give the graphics a 7 out of 10. Obviously 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. I would give it about 7 out of 10. That's not too bad, Maybe like a 6.8. They could have done more on the graphics. They're very basic, but they're nice. They're not overwhelming. I don't know, a 7 is good, maybe 7.5. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck in a pickle here because I don't want to shit on the game too much. Based on graphics, because like I said, it's a game that the focus is not the graphics, really. I think there's a good focus on the sound quality. The soundtrack's great, the music's great, the sound effects in general are actually pretty good, really squishy sounds when you're stabbing people with the Predator claw, wrist blaze or whatever. And then obviously for visuals, blood and gore is pretty good. I like it. It's very interesting. It's also very basic, but it is very nice. It's nice to see, good blood and gore, and then, the Predator ripping out spines. It's always a nice thing. Like I said, the actual sound quality of the game is really good. I really enjoy it. I mean, the sounds of the Predator, like I said, the sounds of the Predator, the soundtrack is great. The music's great. The sound effects are actually really good in this game. I would give that like a solid 8 out of 10. Obviously, I might have a little bit of a bias because I'm a huge fan of the Predator, so, take my review with a grain of salt. But this is just coming from my experience. Other people might have different experiences, so somebody else might rate the game worse because they might have a gripe with the game that's more personal. Obviously, like I said, I might have a little bit of a bias because I really love the Predator, so I'm really hyped and excited to play this game. When it comes to replayability, or just, I guess, how bored do you get? How fast does it take for you to be bored in the game, or what is its replay value? You can spend a good amount of time replaying the game, but it does get a little bit stale after a while. I think they really need to maybe make a couple other game modes or add something into the game to kind of spice it up. Throw a little bit spice into it just to make it a little bit different, a little bit more exciting, and give it more options so there's more replay value in the game, I guess, in that sense. Maybe add more weapons for the Predator or for the fire team, something, or I mean, they could always alter the map, do different maps. Maybe they can even do a city. I don't know, like a city map, like you have in the movie Predator 2. Maybe they can do a city map. That'd be kind of interesting, a little bit different. And then they could obviously add parkour for the Predator because he can jump really high and climb shit really fast. So they could always do that. That'd be kind of interesting, right? So overall replayability, I would give that like a 7 out of 10. I can spend a good amount of time playing the game as a fire team or as the Predator, or basically you click no preference, which will most likely put you in the fire team over the Predator, but it should be random at that point. I wish it was random, but mainly I always get into, if I click no preference when I search for a game, it'll always put me as a fire team. I have to deliberately click on Predator and wait, sometimes around, I think the longest I've waited was like 11 minutes before I was able to join a game. That is one of the issues that I wanted to bring up to the attention of the developers. I wish they made it faster, so I wait, 2 minutes instead of 11 to play a game. But sometimes I only wait, 4 minutes or 5 minutes. It really depends what time of the day that I play the game. Overall, I wanted to give the game, I'll give the game a 7.5 out of 10 for right now. If the developer was to come across my video, here are some of the suggestions for, I guess, to fix the game a little bit. And this is something that they can do in the next coming weeks to improve the game. Obviously, to make the blood splatter of the Predator, because there's a lot of instances where the fire team really can just wreck the Predator. If they all really focus and gang up on the Predator, they can wreck the Predator. It's easy. Doesn't matter how good the Predator player is. If the fire team, they focus fire on you, they will eliminate you very quickly, and you're not going to have a fun game. So I would say if they were to reduce the how wide and how big the blood splatter is and thin it out so it doesn't splatter, like where you can pretty much within an instant track the Predator down as he's doing his second wind and trying to heal up. I think that might be a little bit unfair in some instances. But I'm not saying completely eliminate the concept of the players being able to track the Predator, but make the blood not as wide, still visible because it's neon green. You can't miss it in the forest because it's like out there. You can see it from a pretty decent distance. You can see that blood. So give the Predator a little bit of a chance to be able to heal up and come back to the fight. And if the fire team's stubborn and good enough, they'll be able to bring him down regardless if he heals up or not. Another thing, I feel that knowing that the health of the fire team is 150, with a certain perk it becomes 160. I feel that is a pretty good range for the players. Maybe they can make that perk make the player's health go up to 180 to give them a fighting chance against the Predator. But I feel that the Predator's health, if it had numbers, would be maybe 350, 400. And I feel that it should be increased ever so slightly, because if you look at the Predator series of movies, the Predator is a very punishing adversary. It's not impossible to bring the Predator down, and many humans in the movies have successfully brought down a Predator. But I also feel like the Predator should have a little bit of an advantage over a fire team, because it's such a, he's a wrecking ball. He's just so fierce and so, it's what the Predator is. So there should be an emphasis on making him an overwhelming, challenging target to bring down. Not impossible. Like I said, if the fire team focuses enough, they can really bring the Predator down. Maybe they can make certain parts of his armor where he will take less damage, and with other parts of armor he takes more damage. Or if they get headshots on him, maybe they'll take more damage or something like that. Maybe they can even blow off his mask and see his weird face and do extensive amounts of damage by shooting him in the head, which would very quickly bring him down, as a suggestion. Obviously, I did mention, that it takes forever to play as a Predator. Maybe that's another thing that they can focus on. I feel that there's much more that they can do when it comes to the replay value of the game. One of the things that I would love for them to do, which would take a little bit of time before they would be able to do this, but they can make a much bigger map. They can drop, instead of 4 members of a fire team, they wouldn't make a fire team. They would just drop 9 random players on the map. These players can find each other and work together to defeat the predators, or they can fight each other. So that would be a whole new mechanic in the game where the players would verse each other, but they can team up. It really depends on the players and how they want to play. And there would be 3 predators, but then they could ultimately decrease maybe the health of the predator, so it's a little bit easier for 1 or 2 players to defeat a predator or multiple predators, but not so much where the predator doesn't have a fighting chance, but just so it makes a little bit more balance. I guess they can figure that out and maybe have like a test server on PC so people can test it out for them. I'd be more than happy to do that and give them feedback. Like I said, I'm very much obsessed with this game. I really love it. It's a great game. Like the overall score, like I said, about 7.5 out of 10 is what I would give the game. It could always have some serious improvements. If I missed anything, let me know in the comment section. If there's any other suggestions that people have that do love this game, to post what could that be, like what suggestions you would have that maybe I can look through and maybe I could post that in a video. And maybe with some luck, maybe we can develop a huge community of, loyal, subjects when it comes to the developer and this game. And we can really make this game driven by the community, which would be awesome because I really, really want to have that, epic experience with the Predator. But anywho, I wanted to really quickly just cover of why I, basically stopped doing YouTube for a while. I kind of had that moment of discouragement. I was discouraged that I would not ever grow beyond a certain point. And also I wanted to just play games and have fun instead of playing games to make videos. And I felt like that was kind of a conflict of why I kind of decided I'm going to stop. And then, every time I thought, oh my God, it's been, a month, I should upload a video, I was like, no, I'll wait a little bit longer. Or I started something and then I just gave up on it. And then that led to 7 months of me not being here, not uploading, and I feel kind of bad. But, obviously I had other, personal life things that I had to take care of as well. Life is more important. Your personal life is always going to be more important than a hobby, and this, at the end of the day, is still a hobby, and that's all it is and all it will ever be. But anywho, I am Death by Mint. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. If I messed up on something within the commentary, please post in the comment section, because I kind of did this, completely unscripted. There's no script involved, just me knowing what I'm going to be talking about, and I just let things flow. And I tried to make this recording already like several times, and I think I nailed it with this one, and I'm pretty satisfied with what I have so far. But anywho, if you like the video, hit the like button, leave me a comment if you want to, subscribe, and I'll be posting more Predator videos coming up shortly. Peace.